Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
And we welcome you into a Victory Monday. Glad you're along for the ride. Our Monday is always brought to you by our friends at the Best Bet. 3 great locations of the Best Bet. Best Bet is in St. Augustine, right there on I-95. Best Bet in Orange Park is on State Road 17. And, of course, you know that Monument Road location. Gosh, what a beautiful location here in Jacksonville. Head to the Best Bet if you want to have a big time. And, man, they do a great job. It's always clean. It's always friendly people there. They really do it right. I'm proud to have the Best Bet as our sponsor every Monday on the program. Frangie and La Selva and Carline with you. Some bad to talk about. Our team lost to JJ's team in college football. I'm not happy about that, Hayes. We'll get to that coming. I'm not surprised by it. Weird, clunky game, but we'll kind of
pathetic offensive game.
Yeah, for the Gators.
God.
It was, but the good news,
do they practice?
I heard they don't.
I mean, do they actually have like an offensive system? Because it doesn't really look like. Well, it looks like a hodgepodge of every bad offense I've ever seen.
Well, you're being critical. You act like they didn't even have a first down in the first half. They did.
Right.
The truth is they did.
Had to go for it on fourth down to get it.
Right. They had to scramble to get it. But
I thought they were really inspired when they came out and immediately lost 6 yards and punted.
By the way, one more thing because I want to get to the Jaguars. But here's how good a play caller is. They go for it on fourth down. They ran the quarterback run. It was a little round end, made 4 or 5 yards, got the first down.
Nice play.
Okay. Very next play, they run a quarterback draw for 6 yards.
Yeah.
Don't run it again.
Yeah.
So, JJ didn't run either one of them the rest of the game. Yeah. Look, stay away from plays that work.
You don't want to ruin a good thing.
It's like written in the locker room. Stay away from plays that they never ran him again.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, well, hey, you know what? Looks like now you and I are watching. Okay, hey, it looks like now they've got a play that works.
If you told me Billy Napier was being paid under the table by the University of Georgia, I would believe you.
Unbelievable. So
I don't think I've ever seen a team go 0 for on third downs in a high-level football.
I think it's happened in the Napier era before.
0 for 13.
But yeah, it's abysmal.
Are you guys surprised that he still has a job today?
No, because we keep coming back to it. The math is still. This is what Scott Strickland is going to be thinking, and it's ridiculous. But I understand in terms of the math and absolutes. He's like, well, we've only lost 1 league game. So why would I fire a coach who's only lost 1 game in conference, and it was at a top 5 team?
Everything's in front of us.
Right. So you still theoretically can get back in this thing if you get hot. And he did. I will say this. They're on a bye week now. And last year, the first bye week, they were able to find something. They played much better after that. Now, I don't expect that will happen against Texas. But anyway, no, I wasn't surprised. He's gonna get another month before he's officially fired.
And I'm gonna get through all the details of that. That's one of our main stories today. But our main story today is 2-1, a great 2-1 start. I'm like you. We talked about it on Duval Rundown today. I thought that win, there was so much significance to that win for the Jaguars. Our friend Mike DeRocco tweeted out that it might be the most significant regular season win that they have had. In many, many years because of all the storylines we talked about all week long. And all those storylines rear their head. They all one way or another, and the Jags found a way to win the game. You win, and again, we talked about this on the rundown. You win games because you learn how to make plays at the end of game. People say, well, game isn't won and lost at the end of the game. It's won and lost the whole game. No, it's kind of won and lost at the end of the game. I'm sorry, but
that's what coaches say to make people feel better that didn't perform well in the final minute.
That's exactly right.
It's a cliche.
100% right. But the truth is, they're won at the end of the game. I mean, the reality is, and last week the Jags.
You never hear that saying in basketball, by the way.
Correct. So very good point. So last week the Jags had some chances to make plays at the end of the game. Brian Thomas Jr. dropped the ball. De'Ami Brown dropped one late in the game. They had a bad pass interference call. They don't make a play on defense. They lose the game. Yesterday, they had a chance to make some plays at the end of the game. They make the play to Brian Thomas Jr., they get it in the end zone, and then they make a play on defense too, but really one at the end of the game. If you make plays at the end of the game, you win. The way you learn how to win is by making those plays at the end of the game and knowing how it felt when you make them. Because the way you made a great point on Rundown today, it's almost better to win like this. It's almost better now.
I mean, 27-3.
Yeah, the effect is better.
Without a doubt.
It's not better to have a team that barely wins and have a team that can win easy. That wasn't your point. The effect, what you glean from it is better if it happens the way it did. That was a really good win for them.
They took a bigger step, in my opinion, winning the way they won yesterday
Correct.
than had they won the game convincingly with little drama. You hope they eventually graduate to that, where they do have some games. I mean, it's the NFL. You're not going to have very many of those, but that they do have some games where it's comfortable. But to me, for it being a fledgling new era of football, where you've got a first-time head coach coaching his third game, and a new GM and a new EVP and all that, a lot of newness on the roster. The way they won yesterday, you could not have. The only way you could have drawn it up better is if Houston had gotten out to like a 10-0 lead and the Jaguars had won 17-10. But no, they showed everything you need to see from this team. And I keep coming back to this. I cannot wait to see what this team looks like in week 9. Give this man another month and a half with this club. Liam Cohen is so far ahead of schedule compared to what happened last year in Tampa, which ended up being a phenomenal offensive year. But they weren't running the ball like this. Or he even talked about it today. You know, it took a while before, they were able to run the ball. Now, again, Houston had a good defensive plan. The run game wasn't there early, but Liam Cohen adjusted to it and his staff adjusted to it. And they did get the running game going in the second half when they really had to have it. And it was a magnificent win. And again, we talked a lot about this. I think the Texans are dead. I think at 0-3 with the schedule they have, they are dead. So you have thrown, I think, a haymaker that I don't think the Texans are going to be able to get up from.
Yeah, we'll see. You and I had this talk on Rundown. For me, it's too early for anybody to be in the Super Bowl or out of the Super Bowl yet. But it's a long season. But yeah, 0-3 is a tough hole to come out of now. 0-3, that's a tough hole now to come out of. So we'll see.
With a lot of flaws.
Yeah, with a lot of flaws and a tough schedule. Yeah, so there's and it's a very flawed team. And it's really a flawed team with no Joe Mixon. And
they're not getting him back.
Yeah,
I mean, Aaron Wilson joined us on the kickoff show, who covers the Texans, and he was like, "My expectation is he's not playing at all this season."
Yeah, so we'll see. But a great win for the Jags on so many fronts. It felt good. Gosh, it felt good. I lost my mind. I was hoarse when the game ended because there were so many moments. There's so many moments in that game that felt the part. And it was a great win for Jacksonville. Felt good. It was fun. It was a fun game to watch.
Josh Hines Allen, my goodness, what a performance!
And he played really well. I totally agree with you. Your column was how he dominated the game, and I totally agree with it. And boy, is Jordan Lewis a good player.
Good.
I'm telling you, that's got to go down as one of the better free agent signings they've ever had. Now, and that's a dumb comment because it's been 3 games. But it certainly feels like that's going to be a really, really good free agent.
Well, yeah, and they haven't had that many.
Yeah,
of.
I mean,
you can count on probably one hand how many elite free agents, signings they've made in their history. Certainly in the last 15 years.
He's always around the ball. He's always, my goodness. And then the play at the end of the game, Josh Hines Allen made it happen. And Antonio Johnson, a guy that you didn't know his role. That's a hard play. That ball didn't just get tipped to him. It's not like somebody tipped it and it came into his lap. He had to go make a diving play, had to have instincts, and so that was a great win for them on a lot of fronts. So that's our main story today. We'll certainly talk about the Jags finding a way to win. We will get to the Gators. The die is cast now.
Oh, yeah.
But how it gets played out, I think, is the storyline that I'm going to get to. I have a thought or two about that, gaining what I can, so I'll certainly talk about that. It comes up in a bit. We know the SEC permanent opponents. We'll certainly talk about that. Bruce Pearl is retiring, and he did it this was a really wise way to play it if you want Junior to get a crack at it.
Without a doubt.
You could not have done it. You could not have done it any more wise. The best way to ensure that your son gets to do it for a year is to wait till September 22nd.
Yeah, I mean, Florida started practice today.
You wait till practice starts, and then once practice starts, you go, by the way, I'm not going to coach, but my lead assistant should take the team. He knows the team. Oh, by the way, we're related. I thought it was smart as hell, and I applaud. I have no problem with that. By the way, I applaud it. I think he loves Auburn. I think he loves basketball. I think he probably loves his kid, and he's getting Stephen Pearl now. There was no other move at this point other than to promote the lead assistant. You have no other choice.
Without a doubt, because these kids can enter the portal now, but they're going to be less likely to do that because they have a relationship with Bruce Pearl's son. So, it's. Certainly it was the right move. And again, Bruce Pearl, I think, has given Auburn their best era of basketball.
There's no question.
I mean, yeah, and so
there's no doubting that.
Yeah, I would imagine Tigers fans are fine with it, and we'll see. I mean,
and if he's not the right guy, you'll hire a guy in April.
I mean, Bruce Pearl's son is friends with Todd Golden, so he might be a great coach.
Yeah, by the way,
just by being friends with the greatest coach.
And by the way, they're best friends.
Yeah,
they are each other's best friend. Todd Golden at the game yesterday, by the way, as a matter of fact. So he was there watching. Maybe he was learning. Okay, maybe he was. So there's that. A lot of things to talk about today on the program. We'll get to the college football weekend. We'll look ahead to a great college football weekend coming up. The NFL weekend was great as well. Some crazy games in the NFL. What are the Panthers doing? Burying the Falcons.
Penix looked awful.
Boy, he did, and so weird.
How about the Browns beating
the Browns beat the Packers? Well, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's the same. I mean, it really feels that way. So we'll talk about that. But let's start with Jaguar football. Great win for the Jags. They're 2-1. Man, does that feel good? This is 1010XL on 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The best place to get trucks is Nimnick Chevrolet. But did you know Nimnick Chevrolet is way more than just trucks? While most dealerships are running low, Nimnick has the largest inventory of new Chevy SUVs in town right on their lot. With low promotional rates, now is the time to save big on the most popular Chevy SUVs like the all-new redesigned Equinox. Plus, with cash incentives and Nimnick savings, you'll save thousands only at Nimnick. If you're looking for better fuel economy or just need a little more room for your growing family, Nimnick Chevrolet's wide range of models ready to drive means you'll find exactly what you're looking for at Nimnick. So head to Nimnick today. Of course, it's the best place for trucks. When you go to Nimnick, it's way more than trucks. It's great SUVs as well. So hit the Nimnick today. Where's the best place to get cars, trucks, and SUVs? Nobody but Nimnick.
1010XL is committed to getting you closer to your favorite players. That's why we send Jags beat reporter Hayes Carlyon to bring you back one-on-one interviews in the locker room, unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harold and Harold. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harold and Harold make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
When it comes to your utility bill, JEA wants to help you use less so you can save more. We offer a variety of free programs, like efficiency and irrigation assessments that'll teach you ways to conserve energy and water around your home. Our alerts will let you know when your utility usage has reached a set amount, and our rebates can help you save when upgrading to more efficient appliances and equipment. Find even more ways to save at JEA.com.
The judge swings the gavel and I pound the hammer. I'm not judging, just hammering. Hammer time with Hayes Carlyon, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
On 1010XL, driven by Kia on Atlantic.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass. They say you're going to see a big difference. But what does that really mean? It means a live local person on the phone, a smooth, easy process, skilled craftsmen, and excellent customer service all around, with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
It's the start of our favorite season in Jacksonville, football season. Let's get hyped and let's get the home in tip-top shape and let's get that house zero-resified. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, They'll take care of you. Call the folks at Zero Res right now. 287-5727. Ask for the 1010XL special. Get your 3 rooms of carpet cleaned at $139 plus a 4th room free. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
1010XL and the Jacksonville Sharks congratulate Menendez safety Luke Harmon, the True Vet Solutions High School Player of the Week. Luke recorded 10 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and a kickoff return against Terry Parker.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Collins now on the near side, dropping a C.J. Stroud. He gets hit as he let it go. The ball's floating up there. The ball is picked off. The Jags, I believe it, picked it off. The Jags have picked it off. The Jags have picked it off. They take over at their own 4-yard line. What a play. They hit him as he let it go. It was picked off. Antonio Johnson has the pick against the Texans. He's from Texas A&M. And the Jags have taken over at their own 4-yard line.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Got kind of excited.
That was good. It's what you should be excited after something like that.
I was very excited. That was a very excited moment. So, yeah, it was a very exciting moment. What a play by Antonio Johnson. Bunch of stuff I'll get to in the game. First of all, I was really happy for Brian Thomas Jr., and I really liked the way the team rallied around him the whole time. I don't think he ever lost their support. I don't think he ever lost their encouragement. I won't say he didn't lose confidence because it looked like he did. And it's only one catch. He's got to keep doing it. But I hope, Hayes, it's as a golfer, if you get the yips and you start missing the 3 or 4 footers, man, you got to make one. You know, if you make one, you relax a little bit, right? Basketball, how many times do you see a basketball coach say, if a guy's missing shot after shot after shot, threes and jumpers, you have him go shoot a layup or two because he has to see the ball go through the hoop, right? I hope this was seeing the ball go through the hoop. I believe that might be what it was, but I was really, really happy for him. That jumped off the page for me. Mostly, I was happy this looked like they scored first in every game. They've led. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm trying to think how many moments. They never trailed the Texans. They trailed the Bengals for 18 seconds. I don't think they trailed the Panthers, did they?
No.
So they in 3 games now, okay, in 180 minutes of football, they've trailed for 18 seconds. Now that usually is a team that's 3-0, not 2-1, but they've trailed for 18 seconds the entire year. So they're a pretty good team. They've got some. So I was very happy to see that they learned how to win. You have to learn to win at the end of the game. I'll also tell you this: the defense is real now. It's not an accident when you have this many takeaways. I think Anthony Campanile's plan, who to blitz, who not to blitz, when to send them, when not to send them, the personnel they've built, that James Gladstone and Baselli and those guys have built, what they're doing is working. It is working. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to work forever. The next 4 games, I'm going to get to that. It's the toughest stretch of the season's right now. In my opinion, the toughest 4 games they're going to play in succession is coming up right now, and I'll get to that in a second. But I love the fact that they made the plays defensively. I love the fact that Brian Thomas Jr. made the big play offensively. I love the way the whole thing. I love that it was a check by Trevor Lawrence because, Hayes, if you're going to get there as a team and you're going to be a playoff team and a championship team and all the things and all the goals we hope they have, your quarterback's got to take over. I love the fact that he got in Azeez Al-Shire's face. I love the fact that he checked to the winning play. I love the fact that he got up to that podium afterwards that we're not going to be bullied. That's what the leader does. I feel it. I feel him becoming becoming his team. I didn't feel it before this year. I'd be lying if I said I wanted it to be that way. And I'm not saying he's the greatest passer, the greatest quarterback of all time yet. He's still got some stuff to do. He made a bad choice on the interception. But I feel it becoming his team. I feel that right before our eyes. I feel that happening. And I like the fact that they're committed to the run. You know what? It wasn't working, but they stayed committed. They stayed committed to who they are. I thought on every front that win felt good. It wasn't perfect. Liam would probably be the first to tell you that on the missed field goal, he probably should have got him in there quicker rather than not deciding, then doing it at the last minute, having to burn a timeout, maybe ice your own kicker a little bit. I think Liam would tell you next time I got to do better on that. But I like this guy, Liam Cohen, man. I think he's a good coach. I think he's smart. I think he relates to people. That was more than just a regular season win. You hadn't beaten them in 7 tries here. That's a long time. They had dominated you. They'd beaten you 12 of the last 14 times you played. They had won the division the last 2 years. That was a big boy win on so many fronts, and I was elated for them. I really was.
Yeah, without a doubt. And hopefully Brian Thomas Jr. does snap out of the slump after the 46-yarder. You hope the drops just as a whole can go away. I would think they would, just because this is the NFL. It'd be really bizarre to see that be something that just lasts all year long. So not a massive concern, but until it gets resolved, it's got to be somewhat of a concern. I think what Liam Cohen's done is magnificent, and again, we've talked about this with other head coaches. Look at the staffs that they've built. Anthony Campanile certainly looks like a great hire, a defensive coordinator. Opposing quarterbacks against the Jaguars through 3 games are completing 60.2% of their passes, 5 touchdowns, 7 picks for a passer rating of 65.5, which is abysmal. What the Jaguars have done, now again, it's Bryce Young, it's C.J. Stroud, and it's a quarter of Joe Burrow and 3/4 of Jake Browning. I get that. But that is, it's been a long time since we've seen the Jaguars bother quarterbacks and get this amount of ineffectiveness from the opposing quarterback. And I can't wait to see what they do in San Francisco. I think the game sets up way better for Jacksonville than I thought it was going to 4 weeks ago, namely because the 49ers are so beat up. They lost Nick Bosa to a torn ACL yesterday, so we already knew about all the offensive injuries. Now they've lost one of their best defensive players. It looks like it's all there for the taking for the Jaguars. This first 4 or 5 games was always going to be kind of a warm-up for Liam Cohen in the offense anyway, and I think they're already doing some great things. They were leading the league in rushing going into yesterday. We'll see after tonight's games, where they shake out. They didn't have an overly productive day on the ground, but they did run for 2 touchdowns. And again, Tootin looks good. Etienne looks good. I think Trevor Lawrence is the unquestioned leader. I do think he's shown toughness and more of a fiery. I do think there's a good yin and yang with Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence. I think Liam brings out some fire in Trevor, and Trevor kind of brings out some ice in Liam. And Liam sort of has conceded, to that point in the last couple of weeks that it might be good for me that Trevor is so even keel and such a cool customer. That 3rd down conversion when Trevor took off was gigantic.
Play.
That's another thing that, if he can get comfortable utilizing that, he doesn't have to break 40-yard runs, but if he can go get 9 yards on 3rd and 8, that is a backbreaker, and it's something that he just hasn't employed much as an NFL quarterback, but it's there. He's capable, and he's making good decisions. But to me, what this defense has done, it's just incredible. They're +5 in turnover margin through 3 games, and the offense has given it up. The offense has turned it over 4 times through 3 games. Trevor has thrown a pick in every game this season. But when you get 9 through 3 games, it's the first time in franchise history they've opened the season with 3 takeaways in the first 3 ball games. It's magnificent. So everybody's contributing. I do think on defense that is contagious. I don't think you're going to see a team get 9 in the first 3 games and then over the course of the next 6 games get 4. I think it's here to stay. I'd be surprised at the end of the year if they're not top 5 in takeaways, if not leading the league based on what they've done so far. So, credit Liam Cohen. He's obviously a gifted offensive mind, but he also was smart enough to go and hire an up and coming defensive coordinator, and it was a risk. Anthony Campanile has never done this, but certainly looks more than ready for the challenge, and is getting everything out of a defense that had been struggling before this staff's arrival. But I thought Josh Hines-Allen was incredible yesterday. He hit C.J. Stroud on the second play of the game, sort of announced himself of, you guys are in for a long day. You got a rookie second rounder trying to block me. He drew 2 holding penalties. I've never understood why that just disappears. That doesn't show up in any stat, no box score. You'd have to go to the play-by-play in a game book to find it. But those are gigantic. I mean, that's as good as a 10-yard sack. He did have a half sack. Obviously, he deflected the ball to seal the game on the nice pick by Antonio Johnson. Rare to see a defensive end that is dominant from basically the first play to the last play, and also was basically unblockable for the middle part of the game as well. So they've got a lot going. Trayvon Walker is playing great.
And played really well the week before. Trayvon was as good as any end in the league the week before.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know the Jags are a 3.5-point underdog because obviously it's a difficult trip. You got Kyle Shanahan, their tradition, the winning that the 49ers have done in recent years. But I think the Jaguars should be sky high with confidence going to San Francisco that they can come back 3-1.
I saw the schedule as this. 3 games that we would learn who they are, but if they were who we hoped they were, they'd had a chance to win them all. Well, they're 2-1. Then a 4-game stretch that I thought would be tough. At San Francisco, home against the Kansas City Chiefs, home against obviously a very good Seattle team, and then playing the Los Angeles Rams in London in a game where you never know what's going to happen. So I thought 3, I don't think they're all winnable, they're all losable. It's the NFL. But 3 where if they're who we thought they were, they could get off to a good start. Well, they're almost 3-0. They're an eyelash 3-0, 2-1. I think at San Francisco, home against Kansas City, home against Seattle, the Rams in London, that's a tough stretch for them, even though only one's a true road game. But if you come out of that in pretty good, and that takes you to the bye, Hayes. After that, they have a 10-game stretch to end the season that does not feel daunting to me. Now, when I first looked at this,
there's 2 tough games.
Yeah, well, when I first looked at this, I didn't think the Colts were going to be good. Okay,
good point.
Yeah. So
I still haven't bought in.
Same here. Me too.
But you're right. They're 3-0.
I agree with you. But when I looked at the 10-game stretch to end the season, if you could survive, if you got off to a good start in those first 3, which they have, survive that next 4. That's a bit of a gauntlet. The 10-game stretch. I mean, this was me not thinking that the Colts were going to be particularly good. But you got the Raiders, you got the Cardinals, you got the Titans twice, you got the Colts twice, you got the Jets. Man, oh, man, that's some winnable games there, man.
The only 2 I see on here that I think are daunting are the Chargers, who are playing as well as anybody in the NFL right now.
Yeah, but that's here.
It is here. Yeah. And then the Jags have to go to Denver
and that's
in the middle of December, who
right.
I do think is gotten off to a slow start.
That's the toughest of the group.
But I think Denver, by that point, will be pretty good. To me, they've got 2 after the bye. They've got 2, I think, really difficult games.
When I looked at this at first, this is before the season, I thought at Houston was going to be one of the tough ones. Now, maybe Houston's not as good as we thought. They're 0-3. But the point is, let's see what you can do in these next 4 now. Go 2-2. I can live with that.
Absolutely.
You go 2-2 now, then all of a sudden you're 4-3. Got a break, and then you have 10 games. So I like where they are. I like how they're playing. I like the guys that are stepping up. I think it's becoming Trevor Lawrence's team. He hasn't been perfect yet, but I think it's becoming his team. It's clear they're committed to running the ball. It's clear they're not going to be bullied. It's clear there's a toughness to them. It's clear the defense. The takeaways are legit now. That's not the sample size is big enough now to tell that they are that. So it's a great feeling. Look, people are going, dude, they barely won the game. I get it. I was there. I watched, but I still feel like in the NFL,
the 2-time defending AFC South champion.
And it's the NFL.
I don't care if it was by 1. I don't care if it was 3-2.
It's the NFL.
It's a monumental win for them.
I saw people on social saying, well, that it was an ugly. It's the NFL.
Right.
Then this is not
Long Island.
Correct. It's the NFL. And if you win a game by a half a point, it's a big win in the NFL. So great win for the Jags. I feel great about it. I can't wait for the next one. Let's take a break. I've got an idea of what I think may play out in Florida, at least what I think should. I got a lot of thoughts about the Gators are a mess. We all know that now. The die's been cast. We'll discuss it after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Hey, it's Carline here to let you know about my new tailgate obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. If you love eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching football, you will love the new Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are game changers. It's delicious as a homemade dip made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You've got to try them. Once you do, you'll be hooked. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip at your grocery store.
Garrett Scantling here, and once again, thanks to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. My torn hip labrum issue is resolved thanks to Dr. Doward, and Dr. Acevedo keeps my feet healthy too. Training and competing, that's what it's all about for me. And Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has me in top condition.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Postgame Monday on 1010XL is served up by Dandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now with the big BOGO event. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
I'm Frank Frangie. Now, I've been telling you about my daughter Amber's journey with Awaken 180. Well, ready for this? She has now lost 60 pounds. That number's real, 60 pounds in a little over 3 months. And here's the thing, she loves doing it. She just went on a trip to Tampa to see a concert, sort of a road trip. And I asked her, was it hard to stay on the diet? She said, Dad, that's just it. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change, and it's sustainable. And it's sustainable even when you're on the road. She is so excited. It has not changed her life. I think that's the best thing. It's a lifestyle change, but it doesn't ruin your life. She's loving her life, and she's so excited that she's been able to lose all that weight. You can do the same thing. You can kickstart your transformation. Call 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It's working for Amber, and she's so excited, and I promise you it can work for you. 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We want to thank our friends from the Best Bet. All those locations all over town. And just a really good place to hang out. They've been a sponsor of this program for the longest time, and I appreciate Jamie Shelton and all my buddies at the Best Bet. They do a great job. They truly do. Frangie, Carline, LaSelva with you. The Gators lose to Miami. Miami beats them 26-7. It's an interesting game. It got to 13-7 in late third quarter. Florida scores to make it, or mid-third quarter. Florida scores to make it 13-7, gets an interception in great field position. And for a moment, I'm watching it. I'm thinking, Miami's pretty good. And here's this Florida team that's down 6 with the ball and a little momentum.
I thought Florida was going to steal it.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you. I was
you did.
I think Florida's going to win.
Yeah.
I'm obviously an idiot.
Yeah, no.
But I did feel like the kind of game where you look up and it's like, how did this team win 14-13?
So, but anyway, Miami's the better team, and they pulled away and won at the end. Here's the deal with Florida. I do think there is something to this. If you fire a coach before the 5th game, that redshirt thing really does rear its head. Even though you could probably get around the redshirt thing either way, that's so out there, Hayes. There's like this big neon sign that says, if your coach is fired 4 games in, if you quit now, if you go ahead and quit now, you've saved the season from a redshirt standpoint. Virginia Tech fired their coach. They lost 13 starters. 13 starters quit the team or refused to play to maintain their redshirt season. You only start 22, okay? So that's more than half your starters, and I can see why you wouldn't want to see that happen. So I understand why you've got, even if Scott Strickland wants to fire Billy Napier, and I don't know that he does, but I can't imagine that he doesn't. That's my take on it. I don't know what Scott thinks right now, but I can't imagine that he doesn't. But I will say that I understand why you don't do it now. Here's the perplexing thing. I think, and people will disagree with me, people disagreed at the time, I'll stand by this. Scott Strickland did the right thing last year with the vote of confidence. It spurred them to go on a winning streak. It gave you a little hope. That hope helped them recruit. That hope would have helped them in the portal, Hayes, if they'd have tried harder. That hope put the program in a bit. It probably helped them fundraise in the offseason. It probably helped them generate NIL dollars. The hope that Scott Strickland gave them last year, no matter how mad you are at him now for doing it, the hope he gave, and he bet on him, and he's going to lose the bet. And
he thought Napier was going to turn the offense over.
And he certainly thought there was a chance he would turn the offense over to somebody else. The bet made sense at the time. It gave them momentum. It gave them hope. It got the football team going. They beat 2 ranked teams after that. They spent an off season of expectation. They started in the top 15. So all that worked at the time. What did not work, and I'm going to say this very clearly, I believe in my heart of hearts that Billy Napier is a good person and a good man. I know people don't care about that because you've heard it too many times. Well, it's my radio show. I'm going to tell you what I think. I think he's a good person, and I think he is a good man. And I think he'd be a good person as your neighbor or as your kid's mentor, and I truly believe that. Having said that, watching how helpless they were on offense, watching how poor the play calling was yet again, how poorly developed the offensive players were yet again, Billy Napier has been so stubborn and so selfish and frankly arrogant about being a play caller that I would be roundly disappointed if he coached a game beyond that Texas game. He has been, and that doesn't mean and I think he's a good man, but I think he's going to lose the job. I don't think there's any doubt he's going to lose the job. I think Florida will have a new coach, an interim coach at midseason. I don't know who it's going to be. I think the search will begin. I think Florida will lose some players to the portal. I think that's why you have to get ahead of it. And I thought about this and thought about it. We touched on this last week, so I'm not saying anything I haven't said before. But we've looked at the fact that I think John Gruden's got enough people of significance to get him an interview. We've looked at the fact that, boy, you'd love to have Dan Lanning and you'd love to have Lincoln Riley. Well, I don't think at the end of the day any of those 3 are going to be the next Florida coach. I think the job's too big now to hire Eli Drinkwitz. Dan and I talked about it on the podcast today, Hayes, and he said he's 25-5 in his last 30 there, and Eli's probably a good football coach. I don't think you can hire Eli Drinkwitz. I just don't think you can hire. I don't think you can make that hire today. Maybe I'm wrong. I know he's not a group of 5 guy. I know he's proven himself in the SEC. He might get the job. He's a Scott Strickland kind of hire. I don't think you can do it. If you add it all up, I would be surprised if Lane Kiffin is not the 2026 Florida football coach. I would be surprised. Again, I'll stand by what I said 2 weeks ago, that I think John Gruden will get in the hunt and his name will get bandied about. I still believe that. I still believe it. But I think when Steve Spurrier got the job in 1989 and on New Year's Eve of 1989 before the 1990 season, it was time. I can tell you, I covered that story. I covered that story the whole time. I covered the fact that they were associating Spurrier with him after the USFL job. but he wasn't ready because he hadn't coached in college. I covered it when they thought after 1 year at Duke. And he wasn't ready. He had only been a college coach for 1 year. Galen still had something to prove. But in '89, it all came together. Galen Hall got fired because of the Jarvis Williams thing and other stuff. And he had his time. Steve Spurrier was in his third year at Duke. They were about to win the ACC, which Duke had never done.
And hasn't since.
So it all added up. You knew then sometimes the time has to add up. The timing is everything. I think Lane Kiffin, not that he's Spurrier, he didn't play there, the time added up. Kiffin had not been a college coach long enough. That's why he was at FAU for a while, not at Missouri, because he hadn't done it long enough. He had to get to another big school, not Tennessee where he bolted after 1 year, or USC where he was an unmitigated disaster. He had to get to where he did it at a rural school. He's done it long enough. He had to get, from what you were told, I don't pretend to know more than I know, he had to get his life off the field in line, in order. And for a while it wasn't. He wasn't the guy that would have represented the school well off the field. At least that was the belief. Well, I think that's over now. I think he's matured, socially matured, as a coach matured. The timing is right now. He's done all he can do at Ole Miss. There's nothing more you can do at Ole Miss. Because if you add all of that up, I would be, no matter what Ole Miss does this year, even if they're in the playoffs, no matter what they do this year, I now would be relatively surprised if Lane Kiffin is not the coach of the Florida Gators in 26. We now know Billy's not coming back. That's not really a debate anymore, I don't think. I mean, I don't even think stranger things have happened.
Yeah, that would be miraculous.
If you add all of this up, I would now be surprised. Not only do I think he's the best candidate, not only do I think he's going to be the coach, but I now would be and I want to be clear, I don't have a tip. There's no inside information. I don't have any of that. I'm just telling you, reading the tea leaves, it has to happen on the right time. It wasn't time before because of Lane's stuff off the field, because he hadn't done it long enough. It's like Spurrier after the third year.
Florida had some arrogance.
And no question. Both times. Yeah. In the 80s, before they went and got Spurrier, and now, okay? But now I think if you compare those two circumstances and situations, it's now time to hire Lane Kiffin, who I think they will hire is in my opinion, will be the next coach at the University of Florida.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I do think if they make the playoff, it complicates it. So I do think if you're a Florida fan that really wants Lane Kiffin, you need Ole Miss to come in at like 9-3. They obviously have a huge game at home against LSU on Saturday. Because I think if he makes the playoff, well, now you're not playing that game until middle of December, late December, somewhere in there. And then I think it starts to get pretty tight in terms of a timeline when you're talking about the other candidates that will be available to start like December 1st. That's a critical 2 weeks in terms of getting prepared to put the 26 team together. But assuming Ole Miss, I don't think Ole Miss is going to make the playoff. So assuming they don't, I do think he'll be the coach. Look, he drops Easter eggs about every other day. I mean, he has an Instagram post this weekend, Saturday morning, where it's him with his, I am assuming it's his son, in a golf cart, and it says, "Spot the ball." Well, who was saying that this summer to anybody with a camera and microphone in front of him? That was Billy Napier. So, and he's always been, Lane Kiffin has made it clear, he's always got one eye on the Florida program. He then is asked, after they hammered Tulane, he's asked in postgame about if he's disappointed the LSU game is a 2:30 start because it's not a night game in Oxford. And he was like, no, I wasn't surprised. I knew that was going to happen because we always get, if we're here. His comment in a nutshell was, when we're here in Oxford playing a big game, it's during the day.
Right.
But trust me, if we were going to be at LSU, it would be at night.
Right.
And then he took it a step further, and all the reporters started to laugh because then he said, and I guarantee you when we go to Athens, it'll be at night.
Right.
Well, at Florida, you don't have that.
Right.
At Florida, when you're playing a big game in the swamp.
Great point.
It's going to be at night. And so it's just, you can just tell he's ready to have a big logo on his chest. I'm sorry, Ole Miss.
It's time.
You don't qualify. Florida does. And he fits perfectly with what Florida needs. Florida needs an offensive mind. Lane Kiffin is an offensive mind, but he's smart enough that he doesn't have to call his own plays. Charlie Weiss Jr. does that. So He's got SEC experience. He does have experience. It didn't go well, but he has experience coaching a blue blood in USC. He's even got NFL coaching experience, which goes back like 20 years ago. But yeah, he's been a head coach at Tennessee. He's been a head coach at Ole Miss. He's been a head coach at FAU, which I think helps him because he's had to get to know high schools in the state. Because trust me, when you're the head coach at FAU, you better know every high school in the state because that's your only hope is to lock in state talent. I do think it'll be Lane Kiffin, but he needs to miss the playoff.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that whole thing plays out. We'll talk about it. Let's take a break. We've got headlines after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Turn on the radio.
In your car, 92.5 FM and 1010 AM.
Would you like to drive for a while?
In your house, at the beach, on your phone, at the gym, on vacation, out of town.
Well, everyone knows that.
Download our free 1010XL app for all smart devices.
Frangie here. It's always truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, this month, you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 0%. Unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. With their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck at Nimnick. So shop online at nimnickchevy.com or visit the dealership at Park and Cassett. Who's got more new Chevrolets at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
The Friday night lights are shining even brighter as 1010XL has partnered with Channel 4 to bring you Friday Night Lights, a live streaming show at 7 o'clock every Friday, presented by Farrah and Farrah on the social media channels of 1010XL and Channel 4.
Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Jeff Lagerman for Napa Auto Care Centers. This football season, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or travel to the away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any one of the 29 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions. Napa Auto Care Centers offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find one near you at jacksnapaautocare.group.com.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Chip Davis, director of the Flounder Pounder Fishing Tournament. We are fast approaching our 16th annual tournament benefiting the Jacksonville School for Autism. With the help of our amazing community, we raised over $1.4 million the last 15 years. This year's tournament will be held at Palm Valley Outdoors on the Intercoastal Waterway. Captain's meeting is Thursday night, October 9th, and the tournament is Saturday, October 11th. I'm inviting you and your family to come out and enjoy our tournament festivities, raise some money, and support autism awareness. Special thanks to U.S. Army Recruitment Jacks for their support. Flounder Pounder for Autism 2025. See you there.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Here's what the car insurance companies may think they know after a car crash. They know you probably don't know what your claim is worth, or how to calculate pain and suffering, lost wages and future earnings, current and future medical expenses, or diminished value to your car. But guess what? We do. And if we don't win your case, you owe us nothing. For a fairer fight, you know who to call. Farrah and Farrah. Jacksonville.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big... Whoa!
See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
We certainly appreciate our friends at Harrell & Harrell. I can tell you Holt's ready for a coaching change in Gainesville.
I have no doubt.
He has moved on.
He'll sue somebody. Let's go sue you and me and Brett Hastings.
We deserve more than what Billy Napier is giving us. No doubt about it. But yeah, appreciate Harrell & Harrell. Give him a call at 251-1111. Frank, we're going to start with an incredible victory yesterday for the Jaguars, coming off a tough loss in Cincinnati, a game that they gave away. The two-time AFC South reigning champion Houston Texans come to town, and the Jaguars take them down 17-10 in a game that looked very dicey late. The Jaguars not only avoid a meltdown, they send Houston to an 0-3 start.
In the NFL, you have to learn how to win games, and that means making plays at the end of the game. If you don't, you lose. That's what happened in Cincinnati. If you do, you win, and that's what happened here against Houston. The Jags are 2-0 at home. Haven't said that in a while. They play very well late in games. I think the defense made big plays. There's so much. They'll gain so much from winning the game the way they won, and I can't wait for the next one.
Without a doubt, an intriguing element of the game, and Frank, you alluded to this on Duval Rundown this morning, was the sequence after Brian Thomas Jr. has the 46-yard catch and run to the 10. Houston elects to allow Travis Etienne to score on the 10-yard run, letting the Jaguars go up 7. Liam Cohen was asked about that today in terms of should Etienne have gone down and then given the Jaguars the ability to run some clock, make Houston burn their timeouts.
The worst thing that could occur is for us to not score a touchdown. Not at all. The way that we were playing defensively, and you go and say, okay, if you try not to score, basically, is what you're gonna do. You're gonna say, all right, maybe we don't even score a touchdown. Who knows? A penalty could occur. You could get offsides. A negative play could occur. Like, there's a lot of things that could happen. And you say, okay, they're gonna get the ball back with, I think it was about 55 seconds if we played it all out and they take timeouts. 55 seconds, and let's just say you don't score and you got a field goal. With 55 seconds, you're up by 3 with no timeouts. I personally, with the way that game was going and the way we were playing defensively, would much prefer to have a touchdown lead and say, all right, hey, go beat us.
100% agree with him. I told you that today. I would have scored the touchdown given that they'd had 55 seconds left. Their kicker, by the way, had his career long as 61. Big-legged kicker. So Fairbairn. So realistically, I thought they did the right thing and scored the way things have gone for the Jags. The Jags are the last team, if you've watched them these last 10, 12, 15, 20 years, they're the last team that needs to not take a touchdown when they could get it. I'm glad he scored the touchdown.
Without a doubt, Liam Cohen didn't get into any of the injury report coming out of the game. We know De'Ami Brown obviously left with an injury. Eric Murray has an injury. So hopefully those guys will be okay. We'll get an update on Wednesday, but nothing in terms of breaking news on anything on the injury front, but hopefully those guys will be okay. Frank, we mentioned it. The Texans fall to 0-3. Now that we've seen Houston, just how would you evaluate what kind of club the Texans have this year?
Yeah, I think they're not as good as they were. I'm not ready to bury you. You're a little ahead of me on that. I'm not ready. They've played. I think the Jags are good, which means they've played 3 good teams. They've been in all 3 games. The Bucs and the Jags, 2 teams that I think are very good teams, barely beat them at the end of the game. The Rams game was kind of funky. I think they've played 3 teams that are playoff contenders and barely lost all 3 games. I think they're scrappy. I think Stroud will play better. I don't think they have as much talent as they've had before, but I don't think their season's over. I think they've got a little fight left in them. We'll see.
Let's get it to around the AFC South. The Colts remain undefeated after bashing Tennessee and Nashville 41-20. Running back Jonathan Taylor accounted for 118 yards of offense with 3 touchdowns. The Titans dropped to 0-3.
Yeah, that team's got me a little concerned because I don't think the Titans are very good. They were going to have a tough year. but I didn't expect the Colts to go in there. I didn't expect the Colts to go on the road and hang 41. The Colts are playing at a pretty good level, Hayes. They are playing at a pretty good level, and they've got a schedule that's favorable. They play Raiders coming up. They play the Cardinals coming up. They play Tennessee again, all within the next 5 games. Yeah, the Colts have me concerned a little bit. I think they have a pretty good team.
The Jaguars' Week 4 opponent, San Francisco, gutted out a 16-15 win over Arizona as kicker Eddie Pinheiro hit a walk-off 35-yard field goal. Mac Jones showed toughness playing through a knee injury, and Ricky Pearsall caught 8 passes for 117 yards. The 49ers are 3-0, but lost star defensive end Nick Bosa to an ACL tear.
Mac Jones looked pretty good. If you watch, I got home in time to watch the last quarter of that game, and he brought him back, and he looked pretty good. I thought... my guess is Purdy plays when we get out there on Sunday, but I wouldn't be shocked if Mac plays. That was a good win. They're 3-0, a good win for the 49ers.
Let's get into college football. The SEC has released the 3 permanent opponents as the 2026 schedule gets a new format. Florida's 3 permanent opponents, Georgia, South Carolina, and Kentucky.
I'll expound on that more at the top of the hour. It's one of the things I want to spend a little more time on it, but I'm okay with it. I don't hate it. I was going to hate Oklahoma being in there. I was going to hate the way it landed. It's 3 teams from the old East. I missed the divisions. If you could tell me they get to play Tennessee the first 2 years, it's only a 4-year guarantee. If they got to play Tennessee the first 2 years, it would feel like old times for me. So I did not. I'll expound more, but I didn't hate it. What about you?
I think it's too soft, but so it's easy, but I didn't like it. I mean, I get what you're saying in terms of the proximity, but I would have liked to have seen Tennessee, LSU, Auburn, and obviously in addition to Georgia, but for your other 2, I would have liked to have seen Tennessee, Auburn, or LSU. I didn't mind if it was 3 really tough teams, but oh well. We've got some kickoff times. FSU Miami will kick off at 7:30 p.m. on ABC next Saturday. Meanwhile, Florida will host Texas at 3:30, either on ABC or ESPN.
Yeah, I saw this today. It really just broke a moment ago that the E! Network was offered Florida, Texas at 9:40 a.m. and turned it down.
Well, Texas is still good.
Yeah, okay. They still stay away from my joke, okay? Come with me on my joke, please, okay? Thank you very much.
Will do. Let's get it to college basketball. Breaking news this afternoon is teams start their season, really. Florida has its first practice today. Bruce Pearl has retired as Auburn's coach. His son, Steven, signed a 5-year deal to replace him as an in-house option. The 65-year-old Pearl coached Auburn for 11 seasons, guiding the Tigers to the Final Four this past season, where they lost to eventual national champion Florida.
I'm going to guess he's known for months he was going to do it. He did it now officially to make sure his son got the gig. Good for him. He's earned that. Bruce Pearl's a good basketball coach. And Bruce Pearl, no matter how much you didn't like him before, and I didn't like him at Tennessee, the Illinois fans hate him because he turned in one of their players when he was at Iowa. But I can tell you, he's good for college basketball. He's a good coach. He's a good representative of college basketball. He's a charismatic guy. And college basketball, the college basketball world will miss Bruce Pearl.
Without a doubt, we will get you out on our musical note of the day. So we're a day late on this.
Yeah,
it's September
but it's okay.
22nd,
It's okay.
Not September 21st. But yes, that's not going to stop us. Earth, Wind, and Fire. This is September. The song was released in 1978. And if this doesn't put you in a good mood, nothing will. The song peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100.
If you didn't go here, I was going to boycott the next 10 minutes of the show. This is fantastic. I was in a good, I saw it online, or I saw it on social, that I'd forgotten it was September 21st. It's the best day of the year. And if you love music, this is one of the great, great songs in my growing up years. I can promise you that. The great Earth, Wind, and Fire. Maurice White on the lead, Philip Bailey on the lead. Earth, Wind, and Fire singing September on September 21st, or in this case, September 22nd. Well done. Back in a moment. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
He tackles talk radio like a middle linebacker in the gap.
I tell it like I see it, and I see it like a middle linebacker.
Tommy Mack. Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unsealed by renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
This is Hayes Carline for Atlantic Infiniti. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infiniti. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infiniti Promise, free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter, and you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showroom. It's cool, comfortable, and hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
Get ready, poker players. The World Poker Tour is coming back to Best Bet Jacksonville from October 30th through November 18th. It's your chance to become a World Poker Tour champion with 14 different poker tournaments to play, including the Best Bet Scramble, a $5,000 no-limit hold'em main event with a $1 million guarantee. Satellites and mega satellites are going on now at Best Bet Jacksonville. For the full WPT schedule and more information, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
You already know it's your main man E to the T here for Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft. And with ball season here, make sure you're on the lookout for my instant reaction before, during, or after the game. All brought to you by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree drafts. Come on, somebody.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Old City named 904 Gutters with a Z, the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the team's O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Start your week off with today's restaurant of the day, Flame Broiler. Try their new chicken avocado salad bowl at $10.99. Fuel your day with Flame Broiler's protein-packed bowls served at 5 locations, including the newest at 103rd Street.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, let's talk about diamond cutting. How is the diamond price affected by the way it is cut?
Frank, that's probably the most important question asked about diamonds, because the trade-off between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one that's not is the diamond's carat weight. You see, diamond cutters buy rough diamonds based on quality and weight. So as they cut the rough diamond, everything cut away affects profits. However, there's specific known cutting parameters, and each deviation from these means they have a heavier, less beautiful diamond. Unfortunately, a customer can't detect all those cutting imperfections. They need expert help about a diamond's cut grade. You see, for any round diamond of a particular color, clarity, and carat weight, there are as many as 10 different prices that can vary by as much as 50%. At Underwoods, we look specifically at how a diamond's cut before we look at anything else, because it's the most important factor when it comes to a diamond's beauty, and to us, whether it should carry the Underwood name or not.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Kuhn Flowers. The Miami Hurricanes put it on the Florida Gators Saturday night with a 26-7 victory, which sends the undefeated Hurricanes to number 2 in this week's AP poll. The 8th-ranked Florida State Seminoles also kept their dominance rolling, defeating Kent State by a final score of 66-10. It's 84 degrees at 5 o'clock time, and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
And we do thank our friends from the Best Bet. Those great locations all over the place. They do such a good job. The Best Bet has always done a great job. I'm proud to have them as a sponsor, and I have been really for the longest time. We've had that talk many times with my friend Jamie Shelton, how much I appreciate him. I will tell you, by the way, weekend winnings with $500 and $1,000 high hands are this Friday and Saturday. That's from 10 until midnight, and that's at all three of those fantastic locations. So head to the Best Bet if you get a chance to. Frangie, Carla, and LaSelva with you. All right, I'll go quickly here. Bucky Brooks joins me in about 10 minutes. Florida's going to play Georgia, South Carolina, and Kentucky on a regular basis. I like the way it landed. I would have preferred Tennessee being there, but I do miss, and I've said it before, the divisions. Remember now, if you really want to judge it, wait till tomorrow when the schedules come out, because tomorrow you'll see the first run of schedules. Tomorrow you'll get a pretty good idea who the other 6 teams are the next 2 years. And I think my guess is Tennessee, LSU will both be on that schedule. So my guess is the first 2 years of this, Florida will play Georgia, South Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, and LSU. I may be wrong, but I would bet that. I'm okay with it landing here. The other thing is it's going to change every 4 years, it looks like. But I'm okay with this. I did not want it to be Oklahoma. I didn't want it to be Texas, not because of how good they are. I didn't want it to be Alabama. I didn't want it to be Missouri. I didn't want it to be a team they haven't played. I wanted it to be teams I'm used to them playing. So I'm okay with where it landed. I was convinced it was Georgia, South Carolina, Oklahoma until we were told kind of over the weekend that it wasn't going to be. So I'm okay with this. Now, remember, it's not like that's the only 3 teams they play. They're going to play 9 teams in all these years. This is the only 3 they play every single year. So given that, I'm okay with it, Hayes. I've seen an LSU rivalry. They've played every year since 71. I'm not going to miss that one. It was great. I'm not. I still miss Auburn a little bit. I hope Auburn lands on the schedule next year. But I like the fact that it's Georgia, South Carolina, Kentucky. I wish it had been Tennessee, but I do think competitive balance was part of the thing here too. Given what they had to deal with, I'm okay with these. I'm okay with where it landed.
Yeah, and I will say it doesn't appear like there were only a couple of schools that really got to protect 2 rivalries. Alabama gets the Iron Bowl and gets to keep playing Tennessee. Georgia gets to keep the South's oldest rivalry with Auburn and certainly the cocktail party with the Gators. But for the most part, other than that, no one really got to keep that I would say, too. I don't really count Texas and Oklahoma in terms of looking at I mean, I know Texas and Texas A&M
teams. I get it.
but they're new to the party. But in terms of the SEC, teams that have been around for decades, I get that. And look, I mean, the league has heard for 2 years, not just from Florida and its fan base, but from around the nation of how hard Florida's schedule is. So maybe they were somewhat cognizant of, hey, not only are we not going to give them LSU or Tennessee, but we're going to give them 2 of the bottom half teams in this league over the last. Basically since, Kentucky's always been that.
Right.
And South Carolina has basically been that since they joined the league 30 years ago. So you're getting one elite team in Georgia, and then you're getting maybe one middle of the road, I'd even say subpar team in South Carolina compared 1 through 16. And then certainly you're getting one of the worst historically in Kentucky. So I think it's easier than it could have been. But I didn't like it. I was really hoping that they would really make the 3 great games for the most part. And yes, that would have led to Missouri having easy 3. I get all that. This is definitely probably more balanced. But yeah, I'm not super thrilled about playing South Carolina and Kentucky every year.
And remember, you're going to see the 9 tomorrow, and then you'll have a better idea of the 9. But I will tell you, I'll bet you Tennessee and LSU are on the 9.
And Florida will go to Texas A&M. Because they.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Well, I'm joking because they go to Texas A&M. Like Georgia's never played there.
Good point.
And Florida's gone like 4 times since the Aggies joined the league. So Florida will play in College Station. Georgia won't.
I kind of missed the joke. Let me go back.
Sorry.
So they may play there twice. Okay. But I do. They're going to play the 9. They're going to play Florida State. You get Georgia, Florida State. You're probably getting Tennessee the first 2 years. I'm kind of okay with where it landed. We'll certainly talk more about that.
It makes it sound like the rotation is that whatever you see this coming year, you may not see in 27, because I don't think it's like if you get them next year, you're going to get them, you're going to flip it for 27. if they're trying to get everybody, they're basically saying you're going to play everybody in this league every 2 years, and you're going to go there every 4 years.
Yeah.
So I would almost think that the 6 you're going to see in 26 will not be the 6 you're going to see in 27.
I was assuming it was,
Yeah.
and maybe it won't. So we'll see what winds up happening. By the way, one other quick college note. The ACC finally did, the SEC finally did it. Now the ACC finally did it. Everyone's playing the 9 conference games. The ACC, like the SEC, also mandates another Power 4 team. So I think we're now headed to now we know we're headed to the 16-team playoff. We'll just have to see how it lands. Let's take a break. Back to Jaguar Talk. Bucky Brooks joins me after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It takes all cylinders working together to complete a successful drive.
We need a drive right now.
Listen for the Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville drive of the game
Need a drive right now.
on 1010XL.
We got to finish.
Frank Frangie here. When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. They're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations and full air conditioning service, they do it all. And with Duck Duck, it's done right. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. If the Jags trust Duck Duck Rooter, so can you.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
With the score tied, it was time for the good guys to make a final push towards a W while in regulation. Trevor Lawrence led the Young Guns on a 7-play, 83-yard drive, capped off by a Travis Etienne score, giving the Teal and Black a 17-10 advantage in the final period. The 1-minute, 59-second drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game.
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville, and now's the time to drive away in luxury.
That's right, Jennifer. The $7,500 tax credit ends this month. It's your last month to take advantage of this incredible opportunity.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, drive the all-new electric Optique, Lyric, and Vistique. They are all in stock and ready to drive today.
See all of our inventory at Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.com or visit us on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent you.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Frank Frangie here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they're opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Bari here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Bari Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit BariOrthopedics.com.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, so here's a reminder to get screened. Ackerman Urology has 4 convenient locations to help you put your prostate health first. Guys, don't put this one off. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
The buck stops here. Time now for Bucky Brooks, brought to you by Coyle & Sons, Jacksonville's commercial fence specialist, on The Frangie Show.
We thank our friends from Coyle & Sons. They do a terrific job. You can call them at 904-356-4821. You can log on to Coyles at COYLEJacks.com. Whether it's commercial fencing, residential, nobody does a better job. They're a Jacksonville company for a long, long time for the right reason. The best fence company in all of town is Coyle & Sons. Frank Frangie along with my buddy Bucky Brooks. Ooh, Bucky, that was a big one yesterday. They needed to win a game like that, didn't they? I think they will gain an awful lot from how they won that game yesterday.
Yeah, I think so, Frank. I think when you look at the way that they had to bounce back, the resilience, the toughness, the way the defense had to carry the offense, all of those things are positive. And then the positives will be Brian Thomas Jr. and Trevor Lawrence coming off of disappointing periods or stretches in games to connect on a big play. There are a lot. Look, there's so much that they can gain from this game in winning that sometimes you like those lessons that happen in wins as opposed to losses like they have for us in the past.
I get the sense, too, Bucky, and you have a better view than any of us because you're right down there while the stuff's going on next to the sideline. But I get the sense this is becoming Trevor Lawrence's team, and I'm going to expound on that a bit. Leaders, you can tell when the leader is the leader. You can have the C on your chest and you're not really the leader, but you're the leader when you act a certain way. When he got in Al Shire's face the one time, when he defended Brian Thomas during the week, it seems like to me he's evolving as this team's leader, not just in words, but it's really happening. Can you sense that being down there on the sideline?
Yeah, he's definitely taking more control of the team. He's definitely more communicative when it comes to those tough moments, talking to the team, bringing them together, laying out the list of expectations. I think some of that has also been fostered in the amount of control that Liam Cohen has given him at the line of scrimmage. The fact that Brian Thomas Jr. play happened when he checked and changed the protection and made it a max protection against an all-out blitz, and he delivered. The more you give him ownership, the more he buys in, the more he feels like, hey, if this is on me, I'm going to make sure that everyone understands it and does it to my liking, which is what he's done. But I'm going to say it extends beyond that because this team is so different. When you talk to everybody on the team, particularly the guys that have been here for a long time, they all talked about how this team is connected, the communication is great, and how we got to work on it week by week, day by day. And there is a closeness to this team that extends beyond what they do on the field together. And the best teams that I've ever been around, the best teams that we know, they talk about like the secret sauce is in the chemistry and the connectivity. This team has put that together and has been very intentional, not only with Liam Cohen doing it like coach to player, but the players have sought to really build that connection because they know how important it is.
Yeah, boy, you can sense it too. I agree with every bit of that. Devin Lloyd's playing his best football. What you saw him a lot because he was a Pac-12 guy even before he got here. What's gone? Why is he so much better now? He's playing really well. What has happened? How's the light gone on for Devin Lloyd this far into his career, in your opinion?
I'll say a few different things. One, I never felt like he was played in a position that was close to the way that he was utilized at Utah.
Okay.
So a lot of the pushback that he would face or the criticism was really unfair because he was being asked to do something completely foreign to the way that he was utilized there. Secondly, man, I think for a lot of the players that may have struggled previously but are having a level of success now, It's all about the coaching staff and the chemistry and the connectivity. I find it funny, man, that no matter we're talking about playing pro sports, but when I talk to these guys after the game, the answers they give are reminiscent to a high school playing for his old high school coach. How we not only want to please our teammates, but it's important for us to play well for our coaches. I think there's something to that when it comes to Devin Lloyd. I think people give it as they get it, meaning the respect, the adoration. Man, if you feel like your coach really respects you and really adores who you are as a person and as a player, you know, a lot of people.
All right, one other guy I'm going to ask you about.
Devin Lloyd is a part of that.
Yeah, you know what? I think he is too. You cut out for just a second there. One other guy I want to ask you about, a specific guy, is Jordan Lewis. Hey, shame on me. I don't watch a lot of Cowboy games, I suppose. He's 30 years old. He's been in the league 9 years, so I should have known it. I had no idea he was this good of a player, Bucky. I mean, is Jordan Lewis playing above his skis here a little bit, or has he been this good and guys like me just didn't realize it?
I would say like a lot of people didn't realize it, but I'm going to go back with Jordan Lewis to when he was 17 years old, and I met him at a Nike camp when he was out of Cass Tech. One, you got to understand, where he played high school ball, expectation standards are very, very high. Goes to Michigan. Smart guy on and off the field. And so when you have high IQ players in a system that allows them to play to their strengths with their instincts and intangibles, it shows up. Very prideful because he's always been the underdog. Remember, he's shorter. He's not the ideal size for a cornerback. So he's always been picked on. He's always been told that he couldn't do it. Just go back to the viral clip that's on YouTube, him and Des Bryant going at it. But what he has done, the steady Eddie confidence, the steely resolve that he plays with, the fact that he earned a captain's letter, like being a newbie, not given but earned, that speaks volumes. And I tell you, Frank, he is as competitive as they come on the field, and everyone feeds off of that. So now what you have on that defense side, you got some talented guys, but you also got some junkyard dogs with him and Dewey and Foyer, guys who were kind of cast off that have kind of come together and found a way to get it done.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good read on all those guys. All right, one other guy, Travis Hunter. You're one of the few people I know that played on both sides of the ball at a very high level. Well, he's doing it at the highest level at the NFL here and doing it at a very good level. What do you think? You're watching Travis Hunter. He made a beautiful move on the one catch. That's the kind of thing I think we're going to see a lot of. How do you think he's playing offensively? How do you think he's playing defensively? And how is he taken to all the reps?
I think he's settled into his role. And I think he's done it with little fanfare. Like, he hasn't made a lot of plays, but you can tell he's a linchpin to the solid nature of the coverage when they're in that nickel group. Does his job, goes about his business, knows exactly what he's doing, and he's a high-level athlete. I would say this. The best for Travis Hunter is yet to come because he gave us a little glimpse, a taste of what he can do when he had the ball in his hand and he made a move, and it was like, boop, boop, and it was a 20-yard game in no time.
Yep.
And then on defense, as he settles in and gets really comfortable, particularly with the pass rush, playing the way they're playing, look, man, he's going to be a star. It's just a matter of time. And what I love about what the Jags are doing, they're not force-feeding him the ball or forcing him to be a star. They're letting it happen organically. And we just know he's going to have a big game at some point, and it's going to explode, and he's going to be the player that we all want him to be, as the number 2 overall pick.
Bucky Brooks with us talking Jaguar football. All right, that's all the good stuff. Now I'll get to some of the other. Why were there so many drops? I mean, you were around him on the sideline. Were they frustrated? Was the ball coming out of the sun? What was going on that the Jags went on that stretch of drop passes in your mind?
I mean, look, I think all of this stuff is all confidence, right? It's all mental and those things. Like we talked last week about Brian Thomas Jr. and the pressure, internal and external, that he may feel in terms of having to be the next great one. Remember, we were talking about him being a top 5 wide receiver in the league. And so sometimes that can get to him. And when you start out slow and you start pressing, I mean, sometimes that's the worst thing that can happen. Think about it in golf. Kind of the harder that you want to hit it, the worse that it is. But if you can lighten the load and kind of relax, things kind of fall into place. I think for all of our guys, that just kind of needs to happen. We just had a bad day. It was a bad day, man. It was a bad stretch. And hopefully we'll bounce back from it. But for us to be the team that we want to be, that we need to be, we're going to need the wide receivers to play better. They know it. Everyone knows it. It doesn't have to be said, but, yeah, they got to play better.
All right, now there's about to be a big stretch now. I think it's the toughest 4-game stretch of the season for the Jags. At San Francisco, Seattle, you've got to play the Rams over there. Kansas City comes here on a Monday night. It's a tough 4-game stretch. In your opinion, It seems like they're in a great place mentally, a great place emotionally, a great place in terms of solidarity. They did lose De'Ami Brown. I hope he comes back. I don't know if he's going to or not. Give me a state of the Jaguars where you think they are going into what I think is a tough 4-game stretch.
Yeah, look, I think it's a tough 4-game stretch, but what I've learned in terms of being around Liam, hey, man, we can't worry about all 4. Let's focus on this one right here with San Francisco. Now, San Francisco loses their all-pro pass rusher and Nick Bosa. That certainly could open some things up for the Jaguars when it comes to the run game and the pass game. Going on the road there can be challenging, but Liam Cohen has spent time with the Rams, and that is a bit of rivalry, and the Rams have a knack for being able to get the upper hand. I don't think there's a fear factor that Liam will have in dealing with that game. And then when you talk about the other games, Seattle, it helps that Liam has been on the NFC West and knows that rivalry. Kansas City is kind of limping along, trying to find their way. And then we play the Rams over in London. I'll be like, the Rams game is going to be a tough game because they are the team that we want to be in terms of, like, how they go about their business, the physicality and toughness and those things. It's a tough stretch, but it's a doable stretch. And I think what we've seen from this team, as long as this defense continues to play like they're playing, oh, man, I'll put us up against anybody.
Bucky Brooks talking Jaguar football. All right, listen to me. You were at the UCF game? You down there? You in Orlando?
Yeah, I was down there in the bounce house. Like, I was down there. I didn't know what I didn't know. And so it was unfortunate. I was there, though.
Well, what are we going to do? We got the girlfriend on the field. She's got the boots. She's talking. What are we, Bucky, what are we going to do about Belly? I mean, you got to have an opinion. It's your school, for God's sake. What are you going to do?
Okay, Frank, I've said this. And it's not politically correct. But, like, Belichick is 73 years old. He probably has about another 10-plus years before he has to take a knee. He's just trying to live it out the best way that he can. And I hate it.
God bless him, right?
But I understand it. You know what I'm saying, Frank?
I do.
I mean, look, if these are going to be my last 10, I'm going to go out with a flourish. And so that's what he's doing. Now, I want him to get the football right, but I know right now, man, the little ticker is just fluttering every time he sees her. He had on them high knee white boots. I mean, just everything. I knew when I saw the sideline, I said, we ain't got a shot.
No chance. You know what? I've never heard it put that way. He's 10 years before he's going to have to take a knee. That is absolutely right. Oh, Bucky Brooks checking in, talking Jaguars football and a little UNC as well. Bucky, hey, you got a home game next week, right? Your flight's pretty simple next week, right? About an hour? Is that what you got?
Yeah. I get a chance to go to the Bay Area. I get to do a 2-for-1. I get to hang out with the son for a little bit. Just knock off the 9. It should be a good weekend. I am looking forward to it because, Frank, if we get this one now, you begin to get you kind of get some credibility.
That's right.
In terms of, like, hey, man, they may be coming on, because you think about it, and Liam said this, like, they feel like they should be 3-0. They feel like they really let one go, that they should be undefeated, kind of going through it. So maybe this is one we can get back against a team that's a really good team, but a team that we certainly can get.
And you're right. You win that one. Everybody notices. A great point. Bucky Brooks here talking Jaguar football every Monday. Buck, thanks, buddy. See you next week.
All right, man. Later.
All right, Bucky Brooks, always brought to you by Coyle & Sons, 904-356-4821, or Coyle, that's C-O-I-L-E, Jacks.com. More in a moment. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Childhood cancer does not discriminate, and 43 children are diagnosed every day in the United States. This is Tom Coughlin, and the J Fund needs your help year-round. Find out how you can help the J Fund by visiting tcjfund.org.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carline here to let you know about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. If you love eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching football, you'll love new Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are game changers. They're as delicious as a homemade dip made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You've got to try them. Once you do, you'll be hooked. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today, 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me, if you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Frangie here. Experience professional grade at Nimnik Buick GMC, home of the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% APR financing. Yes, 0%. You can't find deals like this anywhere else in Jacksonville. So shop 24/7 online at NimnikBuickGMC.com or at the showroom on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now with the big BOGO event. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden & Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Time now for the College Football Top 25 Rewind. Brought to you by the law firm of Woolsey Morecambe. Take the fear out of the fight. Here's Hayes Carline.
All right, here we go. We are ready to look back and look forward. The AP Top 25 poll has been updated, and we are going to start in South Florida.
No mystery, pure power. They made it look easy. Miami finds the end zone.
Miami surges late to pull away from Florida, 26-7. The Hurricanes moved up 2 spots in the poll to number 2 behind top-ranked Ohio State. The Canes haven't been ranked this high since 2017.
Canes are good, and I doubted it a little bit when I'm watching midway through the game, but they pulled away and beat the Gators. Oh, a big one on October 4th, boy. I can tell you, and the Canes are off until then. I will tell you, Florida State, Miami, one of the great rivalries in my lifetime. In terms of good play, talented players, NFL types, and I think it's back, and I can't wait. Both teams will be in there undefeated. Can't wait to watch it.
JJ, let's get it to Norman.
Mateer has a wide open receiver. Touchdown, Isaiah Satania. Busted coverage for Auburn. And a 24-yard score for Satania.
Oklahoma survives Auburn 24-17. A controversial play. The SEC had to come out on Sunday and admit that play should not have been able to count. Oklahoma kind of cheated there, but you get away with it. The Sooners climbed 4 spots to number 7. Auburn fell out of the poll after being ranked 22nd.
I'll tell you this, 2 things. It was a good game. It was an evenly played game. Oklahoma, both found their quarterbacks, and all of a sudden they're pretty good. And Auburn's quarterback used to be at Oklahoma. I'll be interested to watch those seasons go along, Hayes, because I think both those teams are going to hang around with about everybody they play. So I was impressed with watching a lot of that game. I was impressed with both Oklahoma and Auburn.
Let's get it to the football hotbed of Bloomington.
Second punt for Clemens. And it's blocked. Got in there in a beat. D'Angelo Pons is going to score! Touchdown Hoosiers!
The Hoosiers might play a joke of a non-conference schedule, but they were ready for Illinois, thrashing the Illini 63-10. Indiana moved up 8 spots to number 11 in the AP Top 25. Illinois fell 14 spots to number 23.
I was texting with a buddy of mine who's an Indiana fan. He said, Indiana football school, Florida's a basketball school. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's a good point.
What has happened to the world?
Armageddon.
What world are we in when Indiana's a football school and Florida's a basketball school?
That's a great point. Let's get it to Salt Lake City.
Dickey keeps going. Outside. Sideline. Touchdown. Texas Tech. Cameron Dickey. 24 yards. Back-breaker.
What a terrible college football weekend. Texas Tech scores 24 points in the fourth quarter to win at Utah 34-10. The Red Raiders climb 5 spots to number 12. The Utes are unranked after entering the game 16th in the country.
They won 34-10. Of course, you and I both picked Utah because, we got knowledge.
Right.
You ever hear
Deep knowledge.
Remember the old Bobby Bowden stories? We're playing Nebraska, and I saw that big old offensive lineman and a big white helmet had that big red N on it. I said, son, what does that N stand for? He said, knowledge.
That's awesome.
That's us.
Yeah, that was not a good pick, but J.J. LaSelva picks up a game picker-upper with his great Texas Tech selection.
By the way, the backup came in.
I know, yeah.
And was phenomenal.
Lit it up. Yeah, it was a close game. And,
it was.
And then Texas Tech with a huge fourth quarter to get a big win there. We will get a look at the locals. Georgia remained at 5, while Florida State fell a spot to number 8. In terms of conference strength in the AP Top 25 poll, the SEC leads the way with 10 teams, followed by the Big Ten with 7, the Big 12 with 4, and the ACC with 3. And Frank, looking ahead to what will be an incredible weekend of college football on the horizon, we have number 6 Oregon at number 3 Penn State Saturday. Ooh. We have number 4 LSU at number 13 Ole Miss. We have 17th ranked Alabama at 5th ranked Georgia. And number 21 USC will travel to number 23 Illinois.
Boy, that's a lot of really good games.
Wow.
It's going to be one of the best weekends of the year in college football, and I can't wait. You needed to kind of get into it where you really had one of those when there's that many games. It's going to be a great weekend. No question about it.
That's going to do it.
Nice. And you guys don't have to watch the Gators this week.
That's right.
We don't.
Most important.
Yeah, I still like them to lose. Okay? I don't like them this week. Maybe Hayes does. I still don't like them this week. We'll take a break. More in a moment. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Major League Baseball heading into the final week of the regular season, and the Philadelphia Phillies, who have clinched the NL East, are the betting favorite to win the World Series this year at plus 425. The LA Dodgers on top of the NL West at plus 500. Seattle now on top of the AL West plus 600. Milwaukee plus 700. Toronto plus 750. The New York Yankees are plus 800. Tight betting race in the American League for the MVP award. Aaron Judge at minus 150, while Cal Raleigh, who leads the majors with 58 home runs, is at plus 110. Shohei Ohtani minus 10,000 to win the MVP in the National League.
Cash back for every bet with a G-Bank signature Visa card. VSIN.com/GBank.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Jacksonville is football season, and Duck Duck Rooter is proud to be on your home team. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, we tackle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning problems with championship-level service. Keep an eye out for our custom Jaguar wrap plumbing vans rolling around town. They're hard to miss and always ready for the next play at your home or business. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, trust Duck Duck Rooter to keep you in the game. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews speak for themselves, and I challenge any firm to compare results. We offer the resources of a large law firm and the customer service of a boutique practice. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY and take the fear out of the fight. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? Do you know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. Since 1927, Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821, CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Here's hoping for a Raise the Roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
Now, the Performance Painting High Performance Play of the Game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
With the game on the line and a shot to close it out, the teal and black defense wouldn't allow the chance to slip through their fingers. In the fourth quarter, Antonio Johnson would grab the game-winning interception from C.J. Stroud, giving Jacksonville a 17-10 victory with 27 seconds left in regulation. The Johnson interception is your Performance Painting Play of the Game.
Hi, folks. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
Get ready. Monday Night Football is coming to Everbank Stadium October 6th. And this is a matchup you won't want to miss. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are throwing it back in their Prowler jersey as they take on the Kansas City Chiefs under the primetime lights. Don't wait. Be a part of the action. Get your tickets now by visiting us online at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you at the bank for primetime football.
Fumbled your fender? EV took a hit? Guardian Collision is your MVP with certified expert auto body repair for any electric vehicle. Guardian Collision, they guard what moves you. Visit guardiancollision.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. 10-10
Take.
The 1010 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck, duckduckrooter.com. I now think this is Trevor Lawrence's team. I think it took a while, as it always does with a young player, but I now see a captain, not just because he has a C on his chest. I see the guy that stood up for Brian Thomas Jr. last week with the media and others. I see a guy that stood up to Azeez Al-Shire when he hit De'Ami Brown hard. I see a guy that the other players respond to. Being the leader, being the player that other players trust and look up to and can put a team on their back. He's the one that made the big play at the end of the game, near the end of the game, to win the game the other day. Trevor Lawrence is a really good player. He's a really good dude, and I think he's becoming a really good leader for the Jaguars, and that's the 10-10 Take.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jacks cool since '87.
All right, where have we been on the program today? Well, we talked about the Jags and learning how to win, and what a big win that was. Hayes made a great point. You'll get more out of, the Jags will get more benefit out of coming back and winning. I say coming back, holding on and winning a close game like that than they would have winning easily. It tested your intestinal fortitude. It tested how you overcome adversity, all the things Liam Cohen talks about. We talked about that. It is true. Bucky Brooks joined us as well to talk about that as well. We talked about Gators. I think we now know the die is cast, that Billy Napier is going to be out. It's just a matter of when. I said I think they'll wait until after the 5-game threshold, so it'll make it harder for players to leave to get a red shirt in his red shirt year. And we talked about SEC having permanent opponents and Bruce Pearl stepping down as well. That's where we've been on the program today. All right, a few more things to get to. DJ Lagway in a walking boot.
We're going to tell him you have a foot sprain.
It is weird, though. It is weird that all of a sudden he's in a boot again. He looked perfectly healthy to me. He didn't look like he played very well. But
I don't remember any plays of him getting up like lumpy, even though he got his ass kicked.
I will say, unless it's just he's never been healthy all year.
Yeah.
And maybe they let him put it back on because he's off for the week.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I will say it does make you wonder, not just the rust and not practicing. It does make you wonder, like, if he goes on to do something of consequence beyond Billy Napier or beyond Florida, if, like, he eventually will say down the line,
played hurt the whole time.
I was like 60% that entire season.
Could be. But I thought he played on one leg last year and was better than the player we're seeing this year. But you never know. And listen, the game's not this week. But if they played this week and he really did have a bad leg, ankle, whatever, is it the calf again, whatever? Well, that would be an excuse to play the other guy.
Right.
It's very clear now. Billy Napier doesn't want to play Tramel Jones. He could not be any more clear. And that's no knock on Tramel. He wants to play his guy. It's very clear now Billy Napier doesn't want to play a different player. Any other coach would have benched Lagway and tried the other guy. They had one first down in the first half. Dan Hickens' theory on all things Gators is that some promises were made, and that Billy Napier made promises to the family and to DJ that are now precluding him from pulling the plug. I don't know if that's the case, but it makes you wonder in the NIL era if some of that is in play.
We see it all the time at the NFL level. If a guy is getting paid a massive contract, like this isn't fair to Dak Prescott, but let's just use him as the example. Dak Prescott isn't struggling. Dallas is losing, but that's not because of Dak Prescott. If Dak Prescott was playing poorly, they're not going to pull Dak Prescott. They're paying him $60 million. They're not going to pull him for a player that's making like $1 million.
Right.
And it's the same thing here. If DJ Lagway is making, $4 to $6 million, whatever it is, you're not pulling him to put in Tramel Jones. It is frustrating as a fan because we watched the game and I was ready for Tramel to get a chance. And I'd like to see him play against Texas, assuming I would use the bye week basically to get him ready. But we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, this is another example of how the NFL world, the NFL model is now making its way to college football, and decisions are being made that we're not used to being, a part of how a coach operates a college football roster.
Other things we'll talk about as the week continues to go on. De'Ami Brown, will they have him? We don't know. And the injury report will come out on Wednesday, and certainly we'll be able to ask more questions. But how does that change them? It's not like he's made a bunch of catches, but I know they were counting on the three receiver tandem being Brian Thomas Jr., De'Ami Brown, and Travis Hunter together. If they don't have De'Ami Brown at all, the obvious first step is Parker Washington steps into the starting lineup, he's a good player. I know he had a few drops yesterday, but he's a good player. But does that mean Travis Hunter plays less defense? Does it mean he plays more? Because one thing you did notice yesterday, he's gone by Jarian Jones. Jarian Jones, who had been starting in that spot, probably wouldn't have played yesterday if Tyson Campbell hadn't got dinged up. So it looks like just watching what happened yesterday, it looks like he's gone by Jarian Jones. At least I got that impression.
Yeah, Jarian Jones only played 2 defensive snaps yesterday.
Yeah, and that's when Tyson Campbell got hurt. And remember, now he was starting. He was a starting player playing all kind of snaps. He only played 2 snaps yesterday. So it's clear that he's been demoted. So what happens? Does an offensive injury affect who plays how many plays on defense? I guess that's the question.
Yeah, and I think it's if assuming they don't have De'Ami, and again we'll find out more as the week progresses. But I think you have to consider that. You're not going to get a lot of sympathy from San Francisco. I mean, they've had Ayuk out, Juwan Jennings out, George Kittle's out. Now Nick Bosa's out. They've had Brock Purdy out. We'll see if they get him back this week.
And he's back now, but they've dealt with a long injury with McCaffrey. I mean, they've had a lot of guys out. Yeah.
So, this is part of the NFL, and Liam will have to figure it out. But, yeah, I would think that that's the luxury of Travis Hunter is you can kind of mitigate some attrition because he is so talented on both sides of the ball. So I would imagine that would be the number one solution. If you don't have De'Ami, then – it's BTJ and Parker Washington and Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Monteric Brown, by the way, is now back practicing. We'll see how much of a factor he is And again, if all of this affects him. But it was clear yesterday, by the way, when they were in base formation, they were in base some more than you might expect. When they were in base formation, Tyson Campbell and Jordan Lewis were their two cornerbacks. And when they were in nickel, it was Travis Hunter. It wasn't, they weren't playing him a little bit here and there. He was in that game the entire time, Hayes. When they were in nickel defense, Travis Hunter was in the game the entire. That's as much as they've used him, other than just to sprinkle him in. That's as much as they've used him as a paramount part of the regular defense.
I'm gonna tell you a guy I like, Dennis Gardeck. He played 21 defensive snaps yesterday. He is a headhunter in the best way possible. I'm not saying he's a dirty player, but he is an animal.
I'll tell you what, I like the play, and I know you know what I'm going to talk about. If you didn't watch yesterday, and I know we got a penalty for it, but there was a punt play. The play was about over, and Ross Madison got blindsided well after the play. Just blindsided, and Gardeck got a running start with everybody watching, the officials included, and drilled the guy who drilled Madison. Now, he got a penalty because, and not just football officials, you always see the second guy, and Gardeck was the second guy, but I love that he did it. Everyone talks about the team, and they're together, and solidarity, and culture, and having each other's back. Well, Hayes, that was having, and I'm glad he did it. I hope the penalty. I don't remember if the penalty resulted in a score or not. Probably not, because he only had 3 points till very late. But because when I first saw it, I'm calling the game, right? And I did not see the shot on Madison. Did you see the play? Did you see the shot on Madison?
No. We in the press box, the brawl caught our eyes. So that was the first thing that drew all of our eyes was that
when they were shoving. Okay.
Once the scrum started.
When I looked down, I saw Dennis Gardeck get a running start and drill the guy. I'm thinking, what is he doing? Why well after the play, why would Gardeck go drill that guy? And man, that's cost him 15 yards. Dennis, what are you thinking? Well, then I saw the replay. And then I saw the guy cheap shot Madison, and Gardeck wasn't having it. And you know what? The officials that's when replay should rear. That's when you should be able to use replay. How many times in sports have you seen the second guy get caught, right? Well, that's when we don't use it that way. But that's a way we really should, Hayes, use replay.
Yeah.
Go back and see the first shot.
I think that'd be a good suggestion. But I even like the special teams thing was one thing, but I thought Gardeck defensively really gave him some good moments. He had 4 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss on a nice, bubble screen that the Texans were trying to hit, and he broke up a pass. So he's never going to play a ton of snaps because obviously he's the third linebacker, but that is a good piece to have, a good role player, Dennis Gardeck. So I was impressed with him.
Lauren Brooks just sent me this. She was listening. Thank you, Lauren. Apparently, DJ Lagway said his foot got stepped on. So he said there's a story out there now, Gator Online, I think, that he thought his foot got stepped on in the game, and the boot is just precautionary. So thank you, Lauren, for
poor guy
sending that over. Yeah. So apparently, precautionary, just foot stepped on. So we'll see. All right, let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Big win for the good guys yesterday, Rick. Big one. Big one.
Most of us have gone ugly at some point in our life, and the Jaguars did yesterday.
Yeah.
And they got out of there with a W, damn it. They learned how to win in an ugly way.
Well said. That is very well said. That's 2 things. Rick talked about going ugly once in our lives, and Bucky Brooks had the great line when I said, what do you think Belichick's up to with the girlfriend? He said, listen, he's 72. He's got about 10 years before he's got to take a knee. So I get it. Two good lines on our show today. So good, big win, though.
It was. And the defense was fantastic. 3 fourth quarter takeaways. And, a response by Tyson Campbell after getting just, completely beaten on that touchdown pass by Nico Collins. I still don't know what happened there. And then, to see him respond with that huge strip, and Devin Lloyd got it. Then you get the 2 picks. You bring Johnson in. He gets his first opportunity, and Josh Hines-Allen is able to tip that ball. So, we talked about it all off season. You got to force takeaways. They have more takeaways this year than they had all of last year. It's amazing.
Isn't that amazing? In 3 games in, think about that stat. 3 games in,
it's nuts.
They have more takeaways than they had in a 17-game season last year.
Yeah.
That's an amazing stat. It really is.
And you know what? If you go back to off-season and even when training camp began in late July, they worked on special teams and they worked on taking the ball away even before they had contact, even before they were wearing shoulder pads, every single day they were stressing taking the football away. All sorts of drills, some that I've never seen before, and it's paid off now. 9 already.
Great point. What's coming up?
All that. Great weekend here in Jacksonville. Boy, how about San Francisco now? Really beaten up. That's I hate to see anyone go down with an injury, but boy, they're ravaged. And I think the people may get what they want. That's a Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones matchup Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll make that Sunday in San Francisco. How about that?
I'd love to see it. Thank you, Rick. Rick Beluhiga's Into the Night. That comes up right now. That's our program. Tomorrow we'll see you same bad time, same bad channel right here. For Hayes and JJ, I'm